Bitcoin has recently seen some fairly significant downside volatility, which really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to you guys if you have been tuned in here. I did make a video about this crash that was incoming, and also on Twitter I pointed it out. Had it all mapped out here with that perfect bearish retest there, and we actually played out down to my support box absolutely perfect, where we are still holding support for now. So what we had here was, I honestly was kind of thinking we were in a bit of an ascending triangle and we were about to blast off to the upside. However, I mentioned that it was very important to also consider the bearish scenario, that we were actually in a bit of a rising wedge, and I was waiting for that break and retest, and that's exactly what we got here. We got a beautiful break to the downside. I shouldn't say beautiful because a lot of people don't see it that way, but just very basic chart analysis playing out beautifully there, in my opinion. So that's great to see. Where we are right now, where do I think the market's heading? I don't think we're necessarily in a terrible spot. Obviously, there's some strong momentum to the downside currently, so it would make sense if we formed some sort of a bear flag and then actually retested our lows that we set back here in the middle of June. But we're going to have to see what happens here. So far, it's not looking too bad in my opinion. We do still have, like I said, I've had this box mapped out. I mean, I had it in my tweet there, so it's holding very true at this point. As well, I want to point out this upward sloping trend line here. Just looking for that third touch point I mentioned I was looking for as well. Just going from this wick here to this wick here, and that's exactly where we're currently finding support. One thing to be aware of with this though is that if we adjust this trend line very slightly, just kind of going from the candle bodies rather than the wick here, we're kind of getting that bearish retest, getting a bit of a support to resistance flip there. So that could be something that you guys should just keep on your radar. I'm personally hoping that we would see the price get back above this line, just kind of treating this as a bit of a bearish fake out, and then reclaiming this old box of support and kind of carrying on from there. Obviously, anything can happen. I like to connect my lines personally just from the very bottoms of wicks. I don't like to discredit these wicks. That's just how I like looking at charts. Maybe you guys have a different back-tested strategy. That's just the way I like to have my charts laid out. But yeah, absolutely perfect that we retested this green box here, which again, I did have mapped out on my Twitter just absolutely perfectly. So that's great to see. As for the short term here, most of you guys know that I am a bit of a scalper degenerate, so I did enter a bit of a long position just a couple hours ago. What I was looking at here, again, just a very degenerate play, looking at a micro swing here. I just pulled a Fibonacci here, and you guys will know that my favorite fib lines, and hence why they're colored different colors, are the 618 and the 786 Fibonacci's. So I took a little bit of a snipe right around that 786 Fibonacci, and we did absolutely get a nice little pump on a small time frame here. This is just the 15-minute chart, you guys. I have already locked in some profits because I think it's important when you're getting in these short-term swings or short-term scalps. It's important to take profits quickly and adjust your stop loss. So I started taking profits just below these Fibonacci levels here. So I've hit 2 of my take profits already. I also have another take profit set up here just below my red box here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it just because we do also have this downward sloping trend line here, which it's looking like we had just a little bit of a bit of a bull trap, really. We did actually have 1, 2, 3 rejection points. So this line could be significant. I mean, this is just a little bit of, this candle hasn't closed yet, so we might still get a close above this line. I think that wouldn't be so bad if we ended up getting just consolidating on top of this line, flipping it into support, and then carrying on higher. I would love to see that for my position. I don't know how likely that is, but we're going to have to see. Also, really probably what I should have done is pulled a Fibonacci from the entire range that we've set here since our dump. But again, the same thing applies. I mean, we just got very close. Well, yeah, the 786 was actually way more accurate if we take the full range there. So that's still lining up quite nicely, you guys. It's nice to see even when we reclaim the 618, we got a little retest here and blasted off to the upside there. So yeah, once again, I would like to take a little more profits just below my red box here, which would also be below this Fibonacci here. So that's just something I'm looking at for the very short term here anyways. So yeah, I don't think Bitcoin's necessarily in too bad of a position right now, just because we still do have support here, and support is support until it's broken. Obviously, the fact that we have now tested this line 3 times, I think if we get a break below this line and some sort of a bearish retest, that's where it'll send us back down to our current lows in this market. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Something else I just want to point out, guys, is I'm going to take a look at this MDX algo indicator here. I just fucking love it just for the colors alone. That's basically how you get my attention there. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I really like this indicator. And something kind of exciting is that if this is something you're interested in, there's a link in my description down below where I believe you actually get a 7-day free trial to try out this indicator, but there's a whole bunch of very cool things with it. Really, even if you're too lazy to make your own support resistance lines, just looking for important pivotal points in the market, the indicator can take care of that for you. So that's just incredible. I really like this indicator. I like all the options it has. It has a whole bunch of customization you can do. And if you do sign up, on their Discord, I am actually going to be doing 1 to 2 live streams in that group, just talking about the indicators and just looking at charts for an hour or 2 at a time, whatever, depends how much interest there is. But that's the kind of place you can come and tune into some live streams with yours truly. And you can ask me questions about the indicators. We can go over charts, all that sort of stuff. So just very cool. I'm very excited to be a part of that. Very cool that they took an interest in me over there. And I can keep working on my own channel here. So that's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that's just a very interesting indicator to me. Another thing that we have here is, well, on my other chart I had mapped out support here, which is basically exactly where this indicator was saying to take profits on the short. So that's lining up nicely with that little bit of support that I had mapped out from back here. And as well on the oscillator 5 indicator down here, it was indicating that just the trend was oversold here. So once again, just kind of looking at a couple of things lining up with the price. And why this might not be so bad. Bitcoin might not be in a terrible spot. I'm not sure if this candle hasn't closed yet, but we also have a potential bullish point forming here. So just very cool. I like how much customization you can do. You can, if things are bulky, you can change the appearance of things. And again, I just really like the colors, so I just really wanted to bring this up. And again, there is a link in my description down below if you want to get a little 7-day free trial with that. So anyways, guys, with that, I think that's about all I have to say. It kind of looks like we're getting this little bit of a fake out with my trend line. So I'm not wanting to add to my position right now. If we do get this rejection and kind of get back above this line, I would consider adding back in a little bit into my position because, like I said, I was taking profits along the way already. But we're going to have to see how that goes. Like I said, if Bitcoin drops this yellow support line, I think it could be in a lot of trouble, and that could send the market back down to these lows, as I mentioned, if not even lower. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Obviously, we saw what happened just the other day. Panic can set into the market very quickly when support levels start to drop. I mean, just look how vicious that dump was. So something to consider, guys. I've been very vocal about thinking that the bottom is in for Bitcoin on a macro scale. I could be wrong about that. I still personally do think that the bottom is in. I think the worst of this bear market is over, but obviously the market can do whatever the hell it wants. I don't have to be correct about that, and analysis changes as the charts change. So as for now, I'm really watching this support line here to see what happens. But yeah, with that, I don't think Bitcoin's in too bad of a position, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Anyways, guys, if you did appreciate this content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give me a comment, what you like, what you don't like, all that sort of stuff. And also give me a follow on Twitter, because like I said, I don't always have time to make videos, and sometimes I can post some pretty helpful analysis here. So be sure to do that. One other thing that I don't like with this trend and why we might be going lower as well is on the MDX Algo portal here. You can see that the longs are significantly higher than the shorts on Binance. Generally, the majority is wrong, so the fact that there's so many longs piling up makes me think that there might actually be a lot of people blindsided here and we might get another further dump to the downside, so that's something to consider as well. Anyways, guys, with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.